Hello, mamas, and welcome to another Friday. Well, this one is pre-recorded Friday live because I've had to go to my kids' school, but I'm not going to fail in my commitment to bring you value every Friday. And so I decided that we're going to do this and send it to you. But we may not be taking your comments live, but this is us bringing the value to you. Hello, and how has your week been? How has your day been? How has your month been? It's almost the end of the month, and it's such a beautiful time to come again and speak to you one more time and for many more times. I know that I'll be here. We've talked about rediscovering yourself. We talked about, muting yourself, reclaiming your voice and your energy. We've talked about staying on mute and the things you can do to protect your energy, how, we need to stay consistent. And today's webinar, we'll be speaking about, designing a life that speaks, creating rhythms that honor you. Designing a life that speaks. You're going to be creating not just, living your life haphazardly, not just living your life as you like, but you're creating a rhythm that actually speaks, a life that speaks. Our purpose for this webinar today is, to help stay-at-home moms to create daily, weekly, and seasonal rhythms that protect your voice, protect your time, protect your energy, protect your vision, so that the transformation from the past webinars can be sustained in real life. Chaos. Sometimes you hear these things and then you get into the chaos. How do you sustain what we are talking about in that chaos? How do you sustain what the unmuting yourself? You've told yourself my voice matters. You've told yourself I matter. You've told yourself I will rise, because when I rise, I give my children permission to rise. And then you enter back into the chaos, and then you are wondering, how do I sustain this? We're just going to, go through a few points and see how we're going to help you to sustain that, the transformation you've been experiencing with your discovery coach in the last 3 weeks. Yes. So we've done a quick recap of the 3 webinars: rediscovering yourself, unmuting yourself, the art of staying unmuted, staying consistent. Speaking up is such a very vital part of, finding your voice. When you find your voice, you speak up. You don't stay invisible. We've talked about this, and now we're just going to see, what happens when you go back to living by default. What are the signs that you are living in survival mode again? What's the emotional or physical cost of not designing your life? When you live your life to chance, what is the cost of that? When you live your life to what may be will be, or what will be, what is the implication of that decision? Some of us wake up in the morning and we allow the day to go on a free flow. It's not really ideal, if you ask me. You allow your day to go on a free flow. They tell you, do schedules, do routines, write down 3 things you'd like to achieve today. You just feel that's so constricting, but there's nothing constricting about that, because every beautiful thing that you see, everything, like if you see somebody and you really admire the kind of life that they live, trust me, they've been intentional about it. There's no haphazardness with, intention. There's no haphazardness with living, if you want to create something beautiful out of your life. So yes, I understand that there's chaos. Obviously, kids will always be kids. There will always be laundry to do. There will always be a house to clean. But how do you maintain a gleam of sanity in this chaos? Remember that the emotional and physical cost of not designing your life is high. Is very high. Just living your life the way you want. Just wake up in the morning and free flow. It has a very high cost. So what's the difference between routines and rhythms? And how do rhythms honor humanity, you as a person, and seasons of life? Remember when we were talking last week, and I was saying that when you show up for yourself. So you make an appointment, like a self-appointment. You tell yourself every 5 o'clock, I'm going to do this. When you show up for that appointment, you're honoring the woman you are. You're honoring the person that you are. Remember what I said last week, So how are you? How does keeping a rhythm and a routine also honor you, or honor, excuse me, sorry, I have a how does keeping these rhythms honor your own humanity? You as a woman and a human, woman and human, how are you maintaining this? How does it honor this humanity? There are types of reading. There are types of reading. We have the daily reading, what you do every day. I know that some things that will come to you as second nature, going into the bathroom, brushing your teeth, having your bath, those things are second nature. They're like reading, your everyday reading. You can't really do without them. You have your breakfast, or some of you might not be breakfast people, and that's fine. Or you have your lunch, you have your dinner. These are little things that are already ingrained in your habit. But what of the ones that are not automatic? Do you journal every day? Do you pause every day? Do you meditate every day? Do you take 5 minutes of pause and just tell yourself, you know what? Let the world be coming down around me. I'm going to think. I need space to think. I need space to be. These are the rhythms that we are talking about on a daily. But we're not talking, the daily basis. The daily basis, what you do on a daily basis, is what builds your life, is what creates the life that you want to live. Your weekly rhythms, do you take sacred pauses where you just say, okay, 1 hour in the week when my children are asleep, I'm just going to, this 1 hour is just for me to pause, to think, to reflect on my journey as a mom, to reflect on my journey, as a wife, to reflect on my journey as a person, not just, in all my other capacity, because beyond my other capacity, I'm also a human and a woman. And I also need to do a self-check for myself. Am I still in tune with my vision? Am I still in tune with the things that I'm, we talk about the things that give us joy, the things that light us up. What are your weekly readings that you keep? Do you have solo time? Do you have family resets? Do your family come together maybe on a Sunday and say, okay, how was our week? How can we make the next week better? These things may seem insignificant, but they are very powerful. They're very powerful tools, because when you start to question and when you start to ask your brain starts to find answers. You see, the thing that makes you go on auto mode, when you start to question, it's your brain pauses and thinks, okay, this thing that I'm doing now, is it for the future Debbie? So let me give you an example. Right. One day, this morning, I was really tired. I woke up at 3 a.m. and then I'd finished, I'd finished doing the school runs, I'd finished making breakfast. And honestly speaking, I just needed a breather. But a breather for me, behaviorically, in the past, has been me on my phone scrolling. And I started scrolling, and I just heard that question. It was like my brain or my mind was just asking me, what are you doing with your phone scrolling? If you need to rest, put your phone down. And that's because I am imbibing, questioning my habits. So I'm not saying this is the way I am. I have habits that are not healthy. I have habits that are not good, but I question them. So my brain has started getting to the point where Debbie starts to question Debbie, if you get what I mean. Like, Auntie, what are you doing with the phone? You want to rest. You need 5 minutes breather. 5 minutes breather means 5 minutes breather. It means put your phone down and rest. If you don't reply all these messages now, these people, it's not an emergency. You can't even save them. You're not a doctor. So, put your phone down. You're tired. And it's okay to be tired. It's okay to rest. But you see, when you go on auto mode, when you are just doing things on auto, you're not thinking about what you're thinking about. That's what I call it. You're not thinking about the behavior. You're not asking yourself, this behavior, is it the behavior of the person who wants to, the vision of the person you have created for 5 years? So for instance, you want to lose weight, you're obese, the doctor says you're obese, or your BMI is really high, and then you want to lose weight. And then every time you are into a habit of always digging into the cookie pot, or digging into some sort of healthy stuff, You don't stop to question. So your brain is just going automatic. It's so auto. It's so like auto. Let's just be going. Okay, this is what we do when we are stressed. When we are stressed, we eat. We eat too much. We stress eat. When we are stressed, we buy chocolate. When we are stressed, we do this. So that's what your brain is. Your brain is just going. When you learn to pause, when you learn to question, 5 questions I ask myself every evening. What went well today? What could I have done better? Am I living in alignment to the ideal Debbie that I want to be? What blessings have today offered? And what excites me about tomorrow? I must be able to give my brain something um exciting to look forward to. So I'm waking up in the morning and I'm not waking up with lethargy. I'm waking up in an excitement because I'm telling my brain, I'm telling my mind that there is something exciting that we should be looking forward to tomorrow. And also when the day ends, I have my mind think, because the human mind wants to find the bad things that have happened. Oh, my children didn't, my husband didn't, the other didn't. So you are trying to find all the things that went wrong. Train your brain, train your mind on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, to find the things that went well. Guard your energy. Remove negative thoughts from, even if somebody is not behaving up to the optimal level that you want, even if your husband is not doing the things that you want, or is not making you happy, find a way to look for because he's not a devil. He cannot be. If he was, you would probably not be married to him. Find a way to look for the good, and then your brain will start to find the good in everything that you do. And that's the secret. One of the secrets to optimal living. You can't get what you're not thankful for. So your husband, is annoys you, and then you go off, you're upset. And I have to start, this is me even talking to Debbie, because I had to start telling myself, no, you will find the good in everything that is around you. You need to find the good. You need to find the good on a daily basis. You can't grow in ingratitude. You can't grow in frustration. You can't grow when the soil of your ground, the soil of your soul is so always constantly stressed. There are soils that are adequate for growing plants, and there are soils that are inadequate for growing plants. We learned it in primary school, Abby. The soils that will not thrive, nothing thrives on it. Don't let your soul be that soil. Don't let your heart be that soil. I don't know who this is for, but this is for someone here who is struggling. You're not finding growth. Ask yourself, what are your daily reading? What's your daily? Are you constantly complaining? Are you constantly drained by the complaints that you give about your children, about your husband, about your situation, about your house, about everything, about the country, about the world? Oh, everything is just going down, 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 down. Also, maybe you also need to be careful the type of things you listen to. So you listen to, news all day. You listen to bad news all day. Oh, something is happening in this part of the world. Something is happening in that part of the world. You're constantly agitated. You're constantly drained. These things will drain you. My advice for you, if it is you that I'm talking to, find a way into your daily reading to look for things to be grateful for. Find a way into your daily reading to look for things that brighten your day, that cause you to smile. Find reasons to smile. When you give your brain the task, say, go and look for me everything that will make me smile. So now I started noticing little things. My daughter makes a statement that I'm like, oh wow, I didn't expect that statement from a 7-year-old. I smile. Or even the way they play. I'm curious about the way they play. I'm not looking at them, oh, these children are playing too much. Instead, I've taken on the posture of curiosity. And curiosity helps you to find other ways. You're not stuck in a rut of thinking. You are expanding your world, expanding your mind, and expanding the mind of your child. So if this is you, in your daily reading, find a way to make gratitude a personal ritual. A personal daily ritual, weekly ritual, every ritual, monthly, or even the monthly will make it a ritual. There's good in it. There's, you know, that proverb that says a silver lining in every dark cloud. There is a silver lining. I don't think anything can be entirely, even if it was a negative situation. I am of the opinion that all things work together for my own good. So yes, I find a way to, what is the good in this situation? Because there should be good. Oh, it could have been worse than it turned out. And even if someone died, find a way. I know that's getting too hard, but find a way. Don't be disgruntled. Don't form daily readings that cause you to be disgruntled in your heart and your spirit. It doesn't help you grow. It stifles your growth. It doesn't give you the light. You see, the woman that you want to become, in 10 years, I'm believing that she's a strong, emotional, steady woman. I mean, emotionally steady woman, not emotional woman, emotionally steady woman. An emotionally intelligent being. She's mentally strong. She has the fortitude to, to pursue business. She has the drive. She has grit. So find a way into your daily reading to force these things into because until you force it in, your brain just goes on. Oh, we are stressed. What do we do when we are stressed? We go to chocolate. What do we do when we are down? We binge watch a show. What do we do when we are, and then all the negative things that may not be negative by themselves, but you push yourself to do these things because of stress. Let me just go on. For the monthly or seasonal, you can do a season, maybe first quarter or monthly. Have your vision checks. What is my vision? This month, how did I pursue that vision? This month, how did I edge forward towards that vision? Do an energy audit. What are the things that drain me? What are the things that stress me out? What are the things that are around me right now that are not necessary? Check your closet. Why is it in the morning I'm stressing over what to wear, even though there are 1,600 clothes here and I still don't know what to wear? Check your closet. Declutter as often as possible, as seasonal as possible. You can do it every quarter. Ask yourself, what are the things that delay me in the morning? What are the ways I can save time to do the things that matter? These are the questions you should ask. When you question, see, questioning for me is a very powerful tool because you're giving your brain the permission to think. Don't close your mind to questioning. Question things that are not working. And it's okay if it's not working. It's not the end of the world. It's not a death sentence. The only way to keep improving, as we said last week, is to do continuous self-improvement. If something is not working, it's not working. Don't force it. If your relationship, not your husband, if your relationships with your friends, your female friends are not working, it's okay. We don't force it. Don't draw yourself back, getting stressed by the things that do not need to stress you. As much as you can, the woman you are becoming needs to eliminate as much stress as possible. And it's important you realize that you owe yourself the duty to eliminate that stress around you. Designing your life that speaks. Let's do so. We're gonna you can just take this down. A short life audit activity. What do I need more of? Do I need more time for exercise? Do I need more time for nature walks? Do I need more time for meditation? Do I need more time for reading? Do I need to cut out something? Do I need to cut out something to have more time? Because if you don't read, I don't know, I'm not sure how much you can grow. I don't think there's evidence to support that a non-reader would grow as much as if you're a reader, you're bound to grow. You're bound to improve. You're bound to stretch yourself. So what do you need more of? You've done an audit of your life. You do an audit of your life. You tell your life is health, spiritual, finance, that you place all the departments of your life per se, of your marriage or your children. Do I need to start spending more time with my husband? Do I need to start spending more time with my children? What can I cut off? Those are the questions you ask. Identify your non-negotiable nourisher. So think of things that refill your cup. Is it prayer? Is it reading a book? Is it talking to a friend who has sense? Or or is it what is it? There's some things that nourish you. There's some people you call and then you feel satisfied in your soul. There's this sisterhood that they bring, or or you meet your sisterhood and then you pray together, or you go on a nature walk, you go and clear your head, you go hiking alone or with your family. It doesn't matter. But what are the things that nourish you? Who are the people who nourish you? Write them in your audit list. Use your voice, use of your voice, time and space as boundary tools. So we've said it so many in the past 3 webinars. You learn to say no, you learn to create boundaries, you learn to protect your time, you learn to reset your home. You look at the activities of your home. What are the things that are time wasters? What are the things that are energy drainers? Is meal time such a stressful time in your home? Do you need to learn how to meal prep? Maybe make my aunt used to just make the base of the soup, and the day she wants to make the soup, the day she wants to eat the soup, she just adds leaves to it so that the leaves are fresh. That's an idea. There's so many ideas on the internet you can get, how to meal batch, how to batch prepare meals. Or do you need to just tell yourself, once every 3 months, I will do this whole, that one day or 1 week every 3 months, I will do all the stress so that every day I just know that what I'm going to eat for the next 3 months is kind of, I'm not saying that it's all prepared because I know that's not possible, but that you leave preparation to the barest minimum on a weekday so that you have more time for the kids. That's a strategy. That's a strategy to protect your voice, protect your time, to protect your space. That's a strategy. You do as much as you can. You looked at the kids calendar? Do they have so many activities? You need to remove them from one activity and focus on another activity. Maybe you do it on a term by term basis. These are little things. Look at your calendar. The stress of just going in out in out. You take this one here, you take that one here. How can you streamline your family activities to suit you? It's okay. You're not being selfish. Your children want X, child one wants X, child one wants B. Going from X to B is a very, very long journey. How do you streamline? Even your own self, how do you streamline your market runs? How do you streamline your supermarket runs? How do you streamline the food that you buy? Are you hell bent or just going into the store? Can you get help? Can you buy these things online? Why do you want to do everything? These are little things that drain us as moms. Drain us. It's not easy planning meals for 4 people, 5 people, 6 people, depending on the number of your family. But you can do things to make in fact, use small time. Just use it to research ways for home management. And you'll be shocked at how much you can learn, in home management strategies. You'll be shocked at how much you can learn in home management strategies that will help you to make your week easier. These are all things that we can do. So just, a brief recap, because we're going to round off. Like not intending to take so much of your time, but you're not here to survive motherhood. You're not here to survive motherhood. You're here to bloom through it. So if you need to look for strategies, if you need to research ways, if you need to cut out unnecessary stress from your life, if the stress is coming from people, if the stress, you will find a way. Find a way. When you find a way, when you look for a way, you will find it. When you look for an excuse, you will find it. Whatever you look for, you will find. If you find a way, you will find a way. If you find an excuse, sometimes like I get instructions from my mentor and I'm like, this thing she's asking me is quite impossible. But I've told yes, it's quite hard. Let me know it's impossible. But I've told myself nothing is impossible. There are people who are doing it. So I will find a way. I may not get the answer, but I've never said, no, this thing is impossible, I won't do it. But I will find a way. Because finding a way is also another way of teaching your brain that we are solution oriented. We are solution givers. We are not problem. We don't sit and marinate ourselves in a problem. But teaching our brain that no, look, you have to get up. You have to get up. You have to get up. You have to find a way to find solutions because you are the one who puts in the programming. You're reprogramming your mind. You've been brought up in a certain way. Your brain is not static. Your brain is neuroplastic. You can learn anything. You can grow anything in your brain. You're not tied down. It's only when we don't want to. But the human mind has a great capacity, and I don't want you to take that capacity for granted. If you don't want to, you will not want to. If you want to, you will find a way to make it happen. And so, if you want to join us in our 5-week program, today is the last call for the £35 and 49,000 naira. Today is the last call. Last week was the last call for people who joined before today. We are giving them their 30-minute slots once we start on the 1st of June, but that call has ended. But if you sign up in the next 5-10 minutes using the link in the group and in my bio on Instagram or in my bio on the YouTube channel, I will give you your free 30 minutes, but it has to be within, because I can see who has signed up. It has to be within the 5 to 10 minutes of this video ending. Communities, don't take it for granted. Don't take your growth plan for granted. You may want, these are tips and bits that we give you. But when you come into a full program, when you run through a curriculum, you have a better chance of getting these things in a deeper sense. I mean, you immerse yourself into a curriculum. You give yourself permission to grow. You give yourself, your brain, you question the limitations you have put on yourself before. It won't come by every Friday. You come here, you take tips, you take bits. But if you join us, question and answer sessions, modules that are mind-blowing, join us. It's not a call to sit on the sidelines. It's a call to find yourself. It's a call to have that accountability, somebody to hold your hand and put you through, someone who has been there and has been through it. So this is your last call for £35 or 49,000. And after this call, next week, we're shooting up the price. But if you sign up within the 5 to 10 minutes of us ending this video, you get your chance for a 30-minute one-to-one rediscovery call. My name remains Debbie Echo, your discovery coach, founder of Your Discovery Coach. I'm always glad to be your host on Friday Lives, and see you next week. Same time, same place. Have a great day, mamas. And hey, I forgot to be saying this. How can I forget my tagline? Hey, mamas, let's start living. Let's start living. Yay.